All right, let's jump right in. We all share a common goal, right? To build an incredible school. But how do we actually do that? What's the secret? Well, in this explainer, we're going to lay out a blueprint, a real roadmap for unlocking our school's potential and making sure every single student doesn't just get by, but truly thrives.
First things first, we've got to know where we're going. We need a shared vision, a clear picture of what we're all working towards. So let's start with the big question, the why. What kind of experience are we trying to create for our students day in and day out? When you boil it all down, the goal is to create a school experience that just feels like a true community. A place that's safe, that's supportive, where every student feels like they're seen, like they matter, like they belong. It's about more than just academics. It's about fostering that grit, that curiosity, and a real sense of pride in who they are as learners.
And see, that sense of community, that's the fuel for an amazing learning experience. We're talking about a classroom buzzing with curiosity and teamwork. Learning shouldn't be passive. It should be active. It should be joyful. It's about students working together, learning to think for themselves, to speak up confidently, and really take charge of their own education. That's the destination.
Okay, so that's the vision. That's the why. But here comes the million-dollar question. How? How do we get from here to there? What are the actual practical things, the what, that we do in our classrooms to make this whole vision come to life?
And the best part? We don't have to reinvent the wheel here. There's tons of research that points to a handful of really high-impact strategies that just flat out work. Think of them as our toolkit, stuff like explicit instruction, scaffolding our support, using flexible groups, really pushing for active engagement, and giving feedback that's both positive and genuinely helpful. Every single one of these is a tool we can use to build that awesome learning environment we're all dreaming of.
But let's be real for a second. Just knowing the list of practices isn't enough, right? It's not a magic wand. The real transformation happens when we get honest about the tough parts, about what's hard when we try to use these tools every day. It all starts with being able to raise your hand and say, you know what, this is a challenge for me.
And that's where this idea of a public learning stance comes in. It's a huge cultural shift. It means we stop working in isolation and start learning out loud, together. We share what's working, and yeah, we share what's not. That collaboration, that's the bridge that gets us from just knowing what to do to actually doing it well as a team. This is where the magic really starts to happen.
So, this whole idea of working together openly, it leads us straight to what might be the single biggest factor in a school's success. It's kind of like the secret sauce.
It's this thing called collective teacher efficacy. And honestly, it sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just the shared, deep-down belief that we, as a team, as a faculty, have what it takes to make a real, lasting difference for our students, no matter what challenges they're facing.
Now, I really want you to let that sink in for a minute. This is not some fluffy, feel-good concept. The research is crystal clear. Collective teacher efficacy is the #1 school-based factor that impacts student achievement. It's more influential than a student's background, their home life, even their previous grades. I mean, wow. That's how powerful it is when we believe in ourselves as a team.
And that's exactly why this is so critical. This shared belief, it isn't just a nice feeling. It's a predictor of actual results. When a staff genuinely believes, as a group, that they can make a difference for every single kid, guess what? They do. The data backs it up. Our mindset literally shapes our students' success.
So if this belief is that important, we can't just hope it happens by accident. We have to be intentional about it. So the question becomes, how do we build it? How do we nurture and strengthen this powerful belief day after day? Well, it turns out we build it through specific actions that create this awesome, positive cycle. It kicks off when we amplify teacher voice. When people feel heard, it's easier to get everyone on the same page with our goals. That unity makes it safer to collaborate openly. And all of that gets locked in when leadership is responsive and has our backs, which, you guessed it, makes teachers feel even more empowered to speak up. It's a loop that just keeps getting stronger.
So what does this look like in the real world on a Tuesday morning? It means teachers aren't just told what to do. They're genuine partners in making the school better. It means we're a team that actually knows what's going on in each other's classrooms and respects that work. It means leadership is there to clear roadblocks, not create them. And it means we have smart systems in place, like our interventions, that prove we're all pulling in the same direction. Okay, let's wrap this up and put all the puzzle pieces together. How does our vision, those key practices, and this powerful belief, how do they all connect to light up the path forward for us?
It really comes down to a simple but powerful equation. You take those proven, high-impact practices and you implement them well. Then you fuel all of that with a rock-solid collective belief that we can do it. That combination, that is what leads to game-changing results for our students. You need both. One without the other just doesn't have the same power.
And again, the research backs this up completely. It tells us this is the smartest place to start. Putting our energy into building up our collective efficacy, our shared belief, isn't just one option on a long list. It's the most powerful launchpad for creating real, positive change that sticks.
And that brings us right back to us, to the real work. We've laid out the blueprint here, but we're the ones who have to build the house. And that whole journey, it doesn't start with some giant, overwhelming plan. It starts with the very next conversation we have. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What's one small thing, one commitment we can make together starting tomorrow that will help strengthen our belief in each other and in our power to change our students' lives?